Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. It is with great sadness that I actually bring you today's video because it is most likely my last update on this curly cut split end situation. I say this because as much as I have been digging into this, I realize that we are not going to get any answers unless professionals actually starts talking about this, and they are not. It's been pretty messy. And that's why I say it makes me really sad to see where the natural hair community is now, given everything that we've been through together. I feel like we've learned a lot about our hair together. A lot of us grew up together in the hair scene, and something's happening right now where it's interesting. So if you don't know what's going on, I'll give you a quick little run through. Maybe 2019, 2020, stylists came into the scene and they claimed that they had a brand new method on how we can take care of our hair, a way to simplify our routine and really just give us our time back when it comes to our natural hair. I want to say that we were doing a lot, for sure. We're using a lot of products, we're reliant on a lot of products and using a lot of different steps that we felt that our natural hair needed. So when they came into the scene, they claimed that they had years of experience under their belt. They've been doing this method for a really long time in the salon with great results, and that this is how we should be taking care of our hair. It was the ultimate method. And what method are you talking about, Jen? I am talking about the no oil and butter method. So this is when you don't use raw oils and butters on your natural hair. I've made so many videos on this. I've shared my entire routine when I started to drop oils and butters, my journey. I have a whole playlist on this, what happened to my hair, how I felt about it. And I cut my hair, I dyed my hair. I stopped using oils for about almost 3 years now. And a lot has happened since. So I'm making this video because A, I want to update you on the situation, even though I don't really have much to update you on, but I will tell you what's going on. And two, if you are thinking about this, I want you to be aware. This is not a method that will work for everyone. As much as, you know, stylist wants to say trial and error is not needed and that, you know, this method is foolproof and works for every single head of hair, as it turns out, it's not true. So this is what we're gonna talk about today. If you're interested, then keep on watching. So before we get started into the issues, I just want to quickly take you through my routine. So when I started dropping oils and butters, one of the first thing that I've noticed was my scalp. My scalp started doing amazingly well. Before that, I had a lot of issues with flaking, then at least what I thought was dandruff at the time, and just itchy scalp and all of that. So I was oiling my scalp a lot and it wasn't really taking care of the issue. It was mainly masking the issue. When I started to drop oils and butters, I realized right away that my scalp issues basically cleared up. I had no dandruff, no flaking, no itchiness, unless I went more than a week without washing my hair. So if that happened, then yes, my scalp would start flaking. Up until now, if I go more than a week without washing my hair, my scalp would start flaking. At first, it was after 4 days, it'll start flaking, and then it increased to like 6 days, 7 days, and then after that, that's my line, okay? Which is fine with me because I do my hair once a week anyway. So that was the biggest improvement. And the second improvement, especially in the summer when I was doing a lot of wash and goes, is that my hair will stay soft and what they refer to as hydrated for about a week. It also took some time to get there. It would start feeling dry after 4 or 5 days, and they tell you to wash and condition your hair all over again if your hair is feeling dry. So that was my experience with the method. And to be fair though, when I was doing it, I am a bit of a product junkie. I get a lot of products from brands, so I use a lot of products that are technically not recommended or products that have oils and butters within the first 5 ingredients. I wasn't really picky about that from the get-go because I was like, oh, that's just too restrictive for me. If I like the product, I would use it. I just wouldn't use raw oils and raw butters in my hair. Yes, I'm talking about our beloved shea butter. Drop that like a big bag of laundry. For me, I felt like everything was going well until I started hearing about the other women on the internet that's been having a lot of issues, in particularly Shelly. I'm gonna give you a shout out. She was in one of the lives that I did and shared her story. And I wanted to have her on because as much as she was a huge advocate for the method, once things started to go downhill, she felt all alone because the stylists were blocking her and just, you know, methods that I don't condone. And I feel like conversation around this should be had, especially if this method is fairly new. Why can't we talk about it? If they say this method is as foolproof as they claim, if someone's having issues, why can't we talk about it? So it was very interesting to see how things started to go downhill from there. There were other YouTubers that were also doing this method that started voicing their opinion and their issues around the subject. So I made a video earlier this year around this topic, around what was going on. And ever since then, I've been kind of like really in the sidelines, looking, digging, trying to have stylists and even black girl calls on the channel to kind of discuss this method and what possibly could be going wrong and how we can fix it. Of course, all the stylists that are part of Cut It Kinky or affiliated with Black Girl Curls, none of them want to talk about it and none of them want to come onto the platform. I've emailed Black Girl Curls and Aisha herself said no. I've reached out to Elaine. She said no. And Elaine was a stylist that actually was on my channel. I went and saw her last year, I want to say. She cut my hair. We had a great conversation. I did a whole 3-part series back then, and now she said no. So it's fine, you know, no hard feelings. So it's been very interesting to see how the stylists don't want to actually talk about it. They claim that YouTube is not a safe space. I don't know, I guess that's their experience because I feel very safe on YouTube. I've never had any issues with any of y'all on YouTube. So it is what it is. And that's why I say I don't have a lot of updated information for you, because I would have hoped, oh my God, I would have wished to have a great conversation with a Cut It Kinky Black Girl Curl stylist, but that's not going to be possible. So if you are a stylist that's willing to talk about this, I would love to talk about it. I also don't want the conversation to be like one-sided, because if I get a stylist that does not believe in not using oils and butters, then I feel like it defeats the purpose. I want to talk to someone who believes in the method and how it can be improved. In any case, now let's get started with some of the issues that's been surfacing. So one of the biggest issue is the integrity of the hair, and it is manifesting in the form of split ends. And not just regular split ends that we've been dealing with on YouTube University since 1990, okay? Now we're talking about split ends that are split multiple times in one strand. I have never seen anything like this. Shelly's strand, when she came on the live, was so shocking to me because her hair is split like all the way up the shaft of the strand. I've never seen anything like this. Recently, and actually just the other day, another YouTuber who's been following this method shared a strand that fell off her head, and it looked exactly the same. Although she is claiming that the reason why she has this very concerning split in her hair is because she was wearing braids. That's very interesting, because one thing about us on YouTube is that we've been wearing braids forever. I used to do a 6-month protective style challenge where I would be in and out of braids for 6 months. And I have never seen anything like this. No one on YouTube that I know of, at least, have shared their split ends that look like this. And now suddenly, a couple of years after a lot of us have transitioned out of using oils and butters, now we're noticing split ends that look like that. So if you are following this method, I urge you to really pay attention to your ends, pay attention to the integrity of your hair, not just your ends, because it seems to be splitting all the way up the shaft of your strands. The second issue that a lot of people are reporting is just chronic dryness. Dryness all around. I don't know what else to say about it, really. It's just like your hair is dry. And what a lot of people are saying is that their hair is dry because of the lack of leave-in conditioners and deep conditioners. So with this method, the way that you take care of your hair is that you are going to wash your hair, condition, and style. And you're going to do this regularly and frequently. And when it comes to the styling portion, it's not recommended to use leave-in conditioners or deep conditioners unless there is an issue. So you will go straight from using your conditioner and then applying gels. Although you can fill gels, but you're going to apply gels or like mousse, and sometimes even do a little concoction of a couple of gels and a mousse to get your desired results. So you're going from washing, conditioning, and straight styling. Not deep conditioning, not leave-in conditioning, straight styling. And to be fair, I haven't deep conditioned my hair since I dropped oils and butters, and I have used leave-ins though. So that's one thing that I didn't entirely take out of my routine. I did for a while, but you know, once I get a leave-in that I really want to try or something that's appealing to me, I would use it. Another thing that I also I wasn't very strict on is going straight into using styling products. I would use a butter, for example, a formulated butter, not raw shea butter. I have no issues using something like that, something that's a little thicker. I use the Mara Moisture one, I use the Carol's Daughter one, I use the Pattern Beauty one. Like, over the year, I definitely use my fair share of butters in my hair. So dryness seems to be a huge issue, which when you think about it, if you're getting a lot of split ends, that could be a result of dryness. And I think African Hair God, which is one of the stylists here that's been really going in and trying to figure out what's been going on with this method, that's one of the conclusions that he came to. So because your hair is really dry, that's the reason why it is splitting. All right. The third issue that's been going on with this method is the recommended products. The top brands that's been recommended when it comes to this method is AG, Hair Care, Innocence. And these products, to be fair, I've never heard about them until the whole no oil and butter thing. And a lot of people are saying that they are formulated for white people versus us. They're not really thick. They're not very moisturizing. It depends on which shampoo that you use. But in any case, using these products may not support enough moisture into the hair, depending on probably where you're studying from or depending on how your hair feels. A lot of the shampoos as well are all-purpose shampoos. So when it comes to shampoos, there is a range apparently. So you have your clarifying shampoo, all-purpose shampoo, and then you spill into more moisturizing shampoos and say co-washes. So you're going from harsh formulas, harsh as in deep cleansing formulas, to gentle co-washes formulas. So that's the range when it comes to shampoos. And a lot of the recommended shampoos fall more into the all-purpose category. And perhaps our hair is just not dirty enough, especially if you're washing it frequently, to support or warrant the use of an all-purpose shampoo. So I think a lot of the women were experiencing issues with their hair because they've been using all-purpose shampoo religiously. So their cuticle layer has just been stripped over time, which is why you're seeing some of these insane splits. And I think a lot of women who's been successfully following this method have switched their products. So, you know, you start using these products and you're like, I really don't know what they're doing for me. And some of us that are product junkie that's been using different products, I think we're the one who's not experiencing a lot of issues. Now, the fourth issue that's been surfacing are rough ends, Velcro ends, webbing. And what are those? So that's basically, I think, when the ends of your hair is so compromised. And some people are thinking that the cuticle layer is raised, meaning that your strands are being attracted to one another and causing this Velcro feeling. So you could wash your hair, you could detangle your hair, and your hair is feeling all nice. And then you add your products in and suddenly it's like you can't get your fingers through your ends. So again, I think that still goes back to the integrity of the hair. Perhaps oils and butters was adding a nice coating to the hairs and also coating the cuticle so that we weren't running into these type of issues. But whatever the reason is, these issues are coming out and people are complaining. People want answers and I don't have answers for y'all, unfortunately. So what now? When it comes to me and my hair, I can speak on that. I am just gonna continue to do what I've been doing for the past, I wanna say maybe 6 months, which is just listening to my hair. I'm gonna do what I wanna do when I wanna do it, okay? I actually used an oil in my hair just a couple of weeks ago, and it was very interesting. It's a very light oil, and I used it more towards the end of my hair, and my hair soaked it up, girl. It was just like she was thirsty. And I don't think I'm having a lot of the issues that are being described, but that's also because I am very mindful of my hair. I pay attention when I shampoo and condition my hair. I really take my time and like analyze my ends, especially now. I am literally like looking at my hair through a magnifying glass because I don't want to run into these issues. That's not why I drop oils and butters. And I also don't want to run back to oils and butters because of my scalp. So my scalp is doing so well that I'm trying to like find a middle ground. And I think I kind of did in terms of not being so strict with the products that I'm using. So for example, I did this little style right here. And like I said, I use a little oil towards the ends of my hair. And that's how I'm gonna keep moving forward. Just continue to be in tune in my hair and do what I feel is needed in the moment. I don't think oils and butters are the devil like they've been painted to be. I think the lack of how we were shampooing our hair may have been the issue. Now I want to touch base on this a little bit. I feel like there is a lot of confusing messaging that's being put out on the internet, and I'm not talking about YouTube University. I'm talking about stylists. I feel like stylists are adding so much confusion when it comes to natural hair, making it even more confusing. For example, Black Girl Girls put a post the other day talking about heat protectant don't protect your hair. It's a very interesting take to put out in the internet, because heat protectant has a role when it comes to our hair care routine. No, it doesn't negate the fact that you shouldn't wash and condition your hair. Of course, if you're going to use heat, you want to start on a clean slate. You're going to wash, you're going to condition your hair, you're going to do all the necessary steps and then protect your hair with a heat protectant before you add direct heat onto your strands. So putting something like that, saying you don't need a heat protectant, but actually you do, is causing even more confusion, so that people go and buy some resource or something because, oh my God, what am I missing when it comes to hair care? As it turns out, y'all are not missing nothing. Everything is on YouTube. And you can tell the influencers that are just doing the most every single time. It's a new routine, it's a new product, it's a new this and that. You can tell like they're doing a lot. And if you want to simplify your routine, or you're feeling like, oh my God, you know what, I think I'm doing a lot, then don't do a lot and see what happens. You don't need to spend all your money trying to chase this idea of a perfect curl and a perfect hair and perfect definition, because you're not going to get it. Your hair is going to be as simple and as beautiful as the time that you put into it. I truly believe that. And I always say you gotta love your routine for you to do it consistently. And what's most important is for you to do your routine consistently. It's not chasing whatever you think is out there that's missing. If you feel something is missing, then that's probably the issue right there. Anyways, I just want you to be aware of all of that. I want you to be mindful when you are consuming content on the internet, especially when it comes to hair, especially when you're listening to these stylists or listening to someone that's trying to sell you something. You want to be very mindful of that, because if there is a lot of confusing message that are putting out to confuse you when it comes to your hair, even though you may have already had your routine down pat, then that's going to cause more issues in the long run. At least that's how I feel about it. So yeah, I mean, that's the update for the curly cut situation. That's probably going to be my last update unless something new comes out, new information. Like I said, I would love to talk to like a stylist that believes in the method, or even like a chemist or someone that really understands the properties of hair and can explain the role of oils and butters. And I don't just mean raw oils and butters. I think if oils and butters is formulated into the product, then you're probably gonna get the same benefit. So I just want you guys to be mindful of that. If you are wanting to try this method, just know that it's not foolproof. It's not easy. It's not just putting this product in your hair and trusting it. I can't even say partner with a stylist at this point, because I don't know, girl. I already had trust issues when it came to stylists. You have to partner with the right person, someone that is actually going to listen to you, and someone that is knowledgeable when it comes to hair. My stylist, for example, I feel like I do trust her because of simply because of the cut she gave me. She cut my hair wet, and I have never seen that before. And my ends still feel so good and still very blunt from the cut. And I had that cut since June, girl. I don't know. I just feel like she really knows what she's doing when it comes to my hair. So I'm gonna continue to see her, but I'm not gonna keep bouncing right and left to see those kinky stylists, because apparently all you have to do is take a course and then say that you're certified. They really don't have as much experience as we think that they do, okay? Someone has to say it. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did drop oils and butters, I would love to hear your experience down below. And if you are a stylist that's willing to actually talk about this, I'm here. I would love to have the conversation. I think I said it in one of the lives. I believe that this is version 1.0 when it comes to this. I think there is something to this method. It really does simplify life, and it allows you to really wear your hair in ways that we just never really allowed ourselves to. For example, doing a wash and go. That's definitely not something that's been 4C friendly. That's something that we really ran away from. But as it turns out, you can do a wash and go in 4C hair if you have the right skills, knowledge, and products to support that lifestyle. And you know, I really enjoy, especially in the summer, I love doing wash and goes then because, you know, it's hot, it's humid, your hair stays moisturized for longer. If you are like me and you live somewhere where it gets cold, for example, right now it's winter in Canada, I don't really enjoy doing wash and goes in the winter, but summer, I really love it. So yeah, I think it's really sad that we've gotten to this place right now where, as loud as stylists were at the beginning of 2020, for example, when it came to this method, at least that's when I started paying attention, girl. I don't know. As loud as they were in 2020, now everybody's quiet, everyone's silent. They're just continuing with this confusing language. Like, we just want answers. Like, why is it so hard for you to give us some information around what's happening right now, especially when you were so loud to call people stupid and dirty for not washing our hair? Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, leave them down below. And I'll see you in a couple of days. Bye.